It's easy to feel like you're behind in life, like everyone else got a head start or knows some secret you somehow missed. You scroll through social media, see friends traveling, getting promotions, buying homes, getting married. And suddenly, your own life feels painfully insufficient. You start asking yourself questions like, am I falling behind? Or worse, am I failing? It can feel like you missed some key milestone that everyone else hit on time, like your peers are checking boxes. College, career, relationships, kids, success, and you're still fumbling with the pen. You scroll and see the girl you went to school with celebrating her engagement. Your old co-worker just posted a photo from his new condo, and that person you barely knew in college, now running their own business. Suddenly your own day, your breakfast, your errands, your evening alone, feels small, unimportant, like you're already too late. But here's the thing. Comparison is a thief, not just of joy, as the saying goes, but of clarity, of presence, of peace. And yet, we do it constantly. It's an illusion. What you're really experiencing isn't failure, it's the comparison trap, a mental game that almost all of us fall into. One where our self-worth gets hijacked by other people's lives, then wonder why we feel empty. We treat life like a race with only one path and one pace. We start to think there's a standard pace for living, that if you're not married by 30, not a homeowner by 35, or not a millionaire by 40, you've fallen behind. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The philosopher Seneca, one of the most well-known Stoics of ancient Rome, wrote extensively about the dangers of envy and comparison. He believed that peace doesn't come from acquiring more, achieving more, or being more. It comes from appreciating what you already have and focusing on what you can actually control. And you know what you can't control? Other people's lives, their pace, their timelines, their luck. He understood that when we measure ourselves by others, we surrender control of our own contentment. Seneca said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have." In modern terms, that means stop measuring your life by someone else's ruler. You're not behind. You're just on a different path. Comparison is sneaky. It doesn't always look like jealousy. Sometimes it looks like self-criticism, like feeling inadequate because you're not as successful, attractive, productive, or charismatic as someone else. But what you're doing in those moments is robbing yourself of the chance to appreciate your own journey. It shifts your focus from what's meaningful to what's marketable, from growth to optics, from what you are to what you lack. Think about it. You don't know the full story of the people you compare yourself to. You don't know what they've sacrificed, what they're struggling with, or what insecurities they battle every day. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, and that's never a fair comparison. Maybe you're comparing your career to someone else's. You're in a job you're okay with. It pays the bills, gives you flexibility. But your friend just got promoted to something that sounds important. Suddenly your work feels meaningless. Or maybe you're single and your friends are settling down. You were feeling fine, but now you're spiraling, wondering if something's wrong with you, wondering why you haven't found your person yet, wondering if you'll ever get there. There's a concept in Stoic philosophy called amor fati, the love of fate. It means loving your life not in spite of its imperfections, but because of them. Not wishing away your delays or disappointments, but embracing them as part of your unique journey. Because that's where resilience is built. That's where character forms. That's where authenticity grows. It's the idea of embracing your life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. Here's a truth most people don't say out loud. Everyone feels behind sometimes, even the people who look like they have it all together, because no one is ahead in every area of life. You might be thriving in your career but struggling with your health. You might have deep friendships but feel lost in your purpose. No one has it all figured out, and pretending otherwise just makes us all feel more alone. Seneca's wisdom still applies. He believed real peace came not from having more or achieving more, but from learning to value what you have. That gratitude is not a bonus emotion, it's essential. When you focus on what's working in your life instead of what isn't, You reclaim the present moment, and that's where contentment lives. The more you compare, the more you miss the beauty of your own journey. You overlook your small wins. You ignore your personal growth. You rush through your own story just to try and keep up with someone else's. But the only person you need to be in competition with is who you were yesterday. That's it. So how do you stop the comparison trap? How do you break free? You start by noticing it. Every time you feel triggered by someone else's success or happiness, pause. Ask yourself, what part of me is feeling insecure right now? What need is going unmet? Usually, comparison is just a signal that something within us needs care, not competition. First, get honest about when and why you compare. Does scrolling make you feel worse? Unfollow the people who trigger that spiral. Not because they've done anything wrong, but because your peace matters more than their updates. Then practice gratitude. Not the performative kind, but the real kind. The quiet moments when you look around and say, "This is enough. I am enough." Gratitude grounds you. It reminds you that your life has value even if it doesn't look like anyone else's. Ground yourself in what you want, not what your parents want, not what your friends are doing, not what looks good on a resume, but what actually brings you joy, what lights you up. That's where your purpose lives. Lastly, return to your values. What actually matters to you? Not to your parents, not to your peers, not to social media, but to you. When you get clear on your values, you stop chasing someone else's version of success. You start defining success on your own terms. Seneca reminds us that the good life is not about impressing others. It's about inner peace, self-respect, and integrity. And those things aren't found by looking outward. They're found by going inward. Give yourself permission to take your time. Life isn't a race, it's a process. Sometimes a messy one. And the truth is, the more you rush, the more you miss. You miss the subtle lessons, the tiny joys, the parts of you that are still becoming. So if you're feeling behind right now, take a breath. You're not late. You're not less than. You're not broken. You're just living your life at your pace. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. It's okay to want more, but don't want someone else's more. Want your own, on your own terms, at your own pace. And if you feel like you're the only one struggling, trust me, you're not. Behind every filtered post is a person with doubts, fears, regrets, and insecurities. We're all just trying to figure it out. So today, instead of comparing, reflect. Instead of envying, get curious. Instead of criticizing your timeline, honor it. You're not early, you're not late. You're right on time for your life. Let's wrap up with this. You are not your job title. You are not your relationship status. You are a whole human being in the process of becoming. Life isn't a linear race. It's a mosaic of moments, choices, setbacks, and lessons. And yours is unfolding exactly as it should. You are a living, evolving human being. You are learning. You are growing. You are doing the best you can with the tools you've got. Remember what Seneca teaches. Peace doesn't come from doing what others are doing. It comes from knowing what truly matters to you and choosing to live in alignment with that, one small step at a time. So if you're feeling behind today, take a deep breath. You're not falling short. You're unfolding. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this video gave you a new perspective or just made you feel seen, give it a like and subscribe for more grounded real-world philosophy. And if you know someone caught in the comparison trap, share this with them. Until next time, take care of your mind, honor your path, and keep going. You're doing better than you think.